Stop scrolling, because if a woman has ever wanted you and you missed it, this video will sting. However, it will also change everything. Most men don't lose her because they're unattractive. They lose her because they miss the moment. And in the next 15 seconds, I'm going to show you exactly how to never miss it again. Listen carefully. To understand a woman's desire, you have to think about the most basic human instinct. Think about a hungry baby. When that child is hungry, it isn't a small thing. It is an all-consuming ache that makes them cry out with everything they have. They feel a void, an emptiness that demands to be filled. The second they get what they need, that frantic crying stops. It is replaced by a deep sigh of relief and total security. For a woman, the anticipation of intimacy carries that same biological weight. It is a craving for connection and fullness that starts long before anything physical happens. Many men walk into the bedroom thinking only about mechanics, but you need to realize there is a massive world of sensation happening before you even make your move. We aren't just ready. We are experiencing a physical and emotional hunger that mirrors that same primal need for nourishment. When you are standing on the edge of that moment, about to close the distance between you two, her entire nervous system is waiting for that tension to break. It's an ache in the pit of the stomach and a tension in the hips that only one thing can satisfy. If you rush through it, you're missing the most beautiful part of the psychology behind why we want you there in the first place. When you finally slow down and listen to the truth, you'll realize that intimacy is not just a physical place. It is a space of high-voltage sensitivity. The moments leading up to connection are filled with building pressure and a desperate need for that hunger to end. It's about the relief of no longer feeling empty. Just like that baby feels a wave of peace the moment they are fed, a woman feels a profound sense of rightness the moment you bridge that gap. It is the transition from a restless, searching energy to a grounded, satisfied state of being. This isn't about performance. It's about the powerful shift in the atmosphere the second you two connect. You are the answer to a question her body has been asking all night. Most men are so focused on their own finish line that they never stop to appreciate the sheer intensity of what the woman is feeling as she waits for that connection. She is waiting for that click, that moment where the two of you become one and the hunger finally disappears. When you understand this, you stop treating intimacy like a chore and start treating it like the deep, soul-satisfying moment it's meant to be. To truly understand the female experience, visualize this. Think of an empty space. When it is hollow, there is a sense of being incomplete, a literal emptiness that is waiting for purpose. This is a biological reality. Before you make your move, that space is essentially dormant. But the very second you connect, that void is replaced by a sensation of being complete in the most intense and rewarding way possible. It is the feeling of every part of that space being occupied, awakened. For a woman, that transition from feeling empty to feeling whole is the peak of satisfaction. The way you connect plays a massive role in how high that satisfaction goes. When everything fits perfectly, there is no guesswork involved. She can feel every movement because there is no space left. Every nerve is being engaged at the same time, creating a feeling of total presence. It's like a puzzle piece finally clicking into a spot that has been vacant for too long. That connection creates a pressure that tells her body something significant is happening here. It is a heavy, grounded feeling that commands her full attention and forces her to stay present in the moment. However, this isn't just physical. There is a deep psychological shift that happens simultaneously. When a woman is with a man she genuinely trusts and respects, that physical closeness instantly translates into a mental state of pure happiness. It's a feeling of safety combined with extreme pleasure because she loves you. The fact that you are the one closing that distance makes it 10 times more meaningful. She isn't just being used, she is being understood in the exact way her body and mind have been craving. The anticipation she's been carrying all day finally finds its release. That nagging, empty feeling that was there before vanishes entirely, replaced by a surge of calm and a sense of rightness that settles deep in her soul. When everything aligns perfectly, it creates a harmony that is hard to describe, but impossible to ignore. Suddenly, the world outside doesn't matter because her entire being is focused on the sensation of being whole. That feeling of completeness acts as a bridge between the physical act and the emotional bond. She feels seen, she feels desired, and most importantly, she feels complete. Every moment reinforces that feeling of being totally connected to you. This is why women get so attached, because you aren't just going through motions, you are transforming her state of being from feeling hollow to feeling full. When you understand that this completeness is what she's really after, you realize how important your presence is to her overall sense of well-being and joy. When you are finally connected, the experience shifts from high-energy excitement to something much deeper, a state of incredible, radiant warmth. This isn't just surface level. It is a deep internal temperature that originates from the very core of her being. To understand this, think about the most secure environment in existence. Just as a baby feels perfectly safe and warm in the most protected space, a woman feels that exact same level of primal comfort when you are connected in her space. It is an all-encompassing heat that wraps around you, creating a private world where nothing else exists. This internal climate is so powerful that it can make the outside world completely disappear. You will feel her body responding with a natural, living heat that is unlike anything else. This sensation becomes even more intense during the cold seasons. When the air outside is biting and cold, that internal warmth becomes a literal refuge. It's like stepping into a warm house after being out in a storm. For the woman, having that space filled by your natural heat creates a soothing effect. The tension she was holding in her shoulders, her back, and her hips starts to melt away. She begins to feel a sense of calm that is almost hypnotic, as her body recognizes that the connection is finally complete. This is the stage where movement becomes something much more than just physical. When you are moving naturally, skin to skin, without any distractions, the bond becomes so intense that it feels magnetic. There is a natural rhythm to the energy being exchanged. You'll notice that she might become very quiet or still, but don't mistake that for boredom. It is actually the opposite. She is settling into a perfect natural rhythm where her body and yours are finally communicating on the same frequency. She is absorbing your strength and your heat, while you are being enveloped by her softness and her warmth. It is a feedback loop of comfort that builds a massive amount of intimacy in a very short amount of time. Everything about this moment feels right because it settles into a flow that doesn't need to be forced. You will find that you don't even want to stop. You want to continue that movement because the sensation is so grounding. The connection creates more heat, and that heat creates more relaxation, leading to a cycle of pure connection. It is the ultimate bonding experience, where the two of you aren't just performing an act, but are actually merging into a single, warm, and quiet unit. That internal calm is the sign that she is fully satisfied with your presence, allowing her to let go of everything else and just be with you in that natural, heated rhythm. If you want to master the art of intimacy, you have to stop listening with just your ears and start listening with your soul. Pay close attention to her voice, because a woman's voice is the ultimate guide for your performance. When you are in the middle of foreplay, the sounds she makes are usually soft and rhythmic. But the moment connection is about to happen, everything changes. The tone shifts from gentle appreciation to a raw, urgent sound. Those sounds become louder, deeper, and more frequent. This isn't just background noise. It is a biological signal from her nervous system. It is her body's way of broadcasting that her levels of arousal have hit the peak, and she is physically ready for that final connection to happen. These sounds are your green light. They are the evidence that her internal engine is fully revved up and ready for the action to begin. When you hear that specific vibration in her voice, that breathless, heavy sound, it means she is fully ready. Her muscles are relaxed, and her mind is 100% focused on you. If you are observant, you will see her reactions coming out in waves. She might arch her back, her breathing might become ragged, and her sounds will start to match the rhythm of your movements. These are the signals of readiness that tell you the preparation phase is over and the real connection is about to start. If you ignore these sounds, you are missing the most important communication she is giving you. In fact, for many women, the hunger becomes so intense that they lose all patience. When the sound reaches a certain level, she might not even wait for you to make the move yourself. She will take action herself, because she feels like you are wasting precious time. In her mind, the talking and the teasing have done their job, and now her body is screaming for fulfillment. There is no time to waste when that level of heat is generated. She is so prepared and so ready that every second you spend waiting feels like an eternity to her. Understanding this vocal shift is what separates the amateurs from the pros. When you hear those urgent sounds, you need to know that you have successfully opened the door. Those sounds are her way of showing you how prepared she is to receive you. It is a moment of total vulnerability and total readiness. When she makes that specific sound as you are about to connect, she is telling you that she is wide open, both physically and emotionally, and she wants you to take charge. So, do not just rush in blindly. Listen to the frequency of her voice and let her sounds guide your speed and your depth. Because when you follow the sound of readiness, you ensure that the experience is perfectly timed for both of you. To wrap your head around the full experience, you have to understand that the moment of connection isn't just a beginning, it is the moment that sets the entire tone for the rest of the encounter. The speed at which you choose to connect dictates the exact type of pleasure she is going to feel. And as a man, you need to be intentional about this. There is a massive world of difference between a fast, powerful connection and a slow, deliberate one. When you go for that fast initial connection, you are hitting her system with a sudden, high-voltage shock of pleasure. It creates a sharp, intense wave that floods her nerves all at once. It's like a burst of instant connection that catches her breath and forces her body to react immediately. For many women, that sudden closeness is exactly the kind of jolt they need to switch their brains off and dive headfirst into the physical sensation. On the flip side, when you choose to connect in slow motion, you're playing a completely different game of intimacy. A slow connection isn't about the shock, it's about the buildup. It allows her to feel every single moment as you move closer. This builds a heavy, thick kind of tension that makes her anticipate when you're finally going to be fully connected. It's a teasing, agonizingly beautiful process where she can feel the warmth spreading and the space adjusting to accommodate you. This slow-motion approach turns the act into a conversation where every moment deeper is a new layer of connection. It builds a level of intimacy that a fast connection simply can't reach, because it forces both of you to be present and patient, savoring the natural rhythm of the moment. Every woman you deal with is going to be different, and even the same woman might want a different speed, depending on her mood that day. Some days, she might be craving that fast, aggressive connection because she's been thinking about it all day and her hunger is at a breaking point. Other days, she might want that slow, deep, and steady connection that makes her feel every bit of your presence. Both styles offer their own unique kind of pleasure. And the best men know how to read her body to decide which one to use. The reality of what we feel on the receiving end is a mix of these two worlds, the thrill of the speed and the comfort of the depth. Ultimately, you have to realize that this is so much more than just a physical act or a mechanical movement. Whether you go fast or slow, the end goal is always the same. It's about her feeling completely connected, deeply warmed, and totally satisfied. When you master the speed and sensation, you aren't just connecting, you're providing a complete emotional and physical experience that leaves her feeling whole. That initial moment of connection is your chance to show her that you know exactly what she needs. By being direct and intentional with your speed, you turn a simple act into a masterpiece of connection that keeps her coming back for more. Because she knows that with you, every sensation is handled with purpose. Comment, "I see it now," if this hit home. Like if it helped you understand her. Subscribe for part 2, because what's coming next is even more direct. You didn't miss your chances because you weren't enough. You missed them because nobody ever showed you where to look. Now you know, use it wisely.